Social science, the earth, our habitat. Geography, Standard 6. Chapter 5, Major Domains of the Earth. As you have read in the first chapter, the earth is the only planet which has life. Human beings can live here because the life sustaining elements of land, water, and air are present on the earth. The surface of the earth is a complex zone in which three main components of the environment meet, overlap, and interact. The solid portion of the earth on which we live is called the lithosphere. Litho, litho, sphere, sphere, the lithosphere. The gaseous layers that surround the earth is the atmosphere, atmos, phere, where oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and other gases are found. Water covers a very big area of the Earth's surface, and this area is called the hydrosphere. Hydro sphere, sphere. The hydrosphere comprises of water in all its forms, that is, ice, water, and water vapor. The biosphere, biosphere, sphere, is the narrow zone where we find land, water, and air together, which contains all forms of life. The biosphere is the narrow zone, the narrow zone where we find land, water, and air together, which contains all forms of life. Word origin. In the Greek language, lithos means stone. Atmos means vapor. Hudo means water, Hudor, and bios means life. Lithos, stone, atmos, vapor, hudor, water, bios, life. Can you make words using the above? Let's take bio. Biology, biome, biomolecule, biodiversity, etc. Lithosphere. The solid portion of the earth is called the lithosphere. It comprises the rocks of the earth's crust and the thin layers of soil that contain nutrient elements which sustain organisms. There are two main divisions of the earth's surface. The large land masses are known as the continents, and the huge water bodies are called the ocean basins. All the oceans of the world are connected with one another. Look at the map of the world in figure 5.1. Are all the land masses connected with one another? The level of seawater remains the same everywhere. Elevation of land is measured from the level of sea, which is taken as 0. Elevation of land is measured from the level of sea, which is taken as 0. The highest mountain peak, Mount Everest, is 8,848 meters above sea level. The greatest depth of 11,022 meters is recorded at Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. The greatest height is the mountain peak of Mount Everest at 8,848 meters, 8848 meters. The greatest depth is at Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean at the depth of 11,022 meters. Could you imagine that the depth of the sea is much more than the highest point? Do you know Edmund Hillary of Britain and Tenzing Norgay Sherpa of India were the first men to climb the highest mountain peak, Mount Everest, on the planet Earth on 29th May 1953. 22 years later, Junko Tabei of Japan was the first woman to reach the summit on the 16th of May 1975. No Saal Baad. 9 years later, the first Indian woman to climb the highest peak on the 23rd of May 1984 was Bachendri Pal. I wonder why everyone reaches the summit of Everest in the month of May. 29th May 1953, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay Sherpa. 16th May 1975, Junko Tabei of Japan. 23rd May 1984, Bachendri Pal of India. M for May, M for mountains. My beloved Auntie May was born in the month of May. Auntie May has not climbed any mountain and reached any summit in the month of May. However, Auntie May has surmounted many obstacles in her life, which were figurative mountains, successfully, probably because Auntie May was born in the month of May. Do you know anyone who's born on the 16th, 23rd, or 29th of May? If yes, you can tell them about Edmund, Tenzing, Junko, and Bachendri. Continents. There are 7 major continents, like the 7 colors of the rainbow. These are separated by large water bodies. These continents are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and Antarctica. Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, and finally Australia. The link to this lovely song is in the description. Look at the map of the world in figure 5.1 and notice that the greater part of the landmass lies in the northern hemisphere. Asia is the largest continent. It covers about 1/3 of the total land area of the earth. The continent lies in the northeastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural Mountains on the west. URAL, Ural Mountains on the west. The combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called Eurasia. EURASIA. Europe plus Asia. Eurasia. Europe. Europe is much smaller than Asia. The continent lies to the west of Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through it. The Arctic Circle passes through Europe. It is bound by water bodies on 3 sides. Look at the map of the world in figure 5.1 to locate Europe. Africa. Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. The equator or 0-degree latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent. A large part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. Look at figure 5.1. You will find that it is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the equator, and the Tropic of Capricorn pass. Wow! It's time for Africa. Riddle time. Which is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the equator, and the Tropic of Capricorn pass? Clue. Africa. The Sahara Desert, the world's largest hot desert, is located in Africa. The continent is bound on all sides by oceans and seas. Look at the map. You will notice that the world's longest river, Nile, Nile, flows through Africa. Notice where the equator, the Tropic of Cancer, and the Tropic of Capricorn pass in the map of Africa. North America. North America is the third largest continent of the world. It is linked to South America by a very narrow strip of land called the Isthmus of Panama. Isthmus of Panama. ISTHMUS. Isthmus. ISTHMUS of Panama. The continent lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. 3 oceans surround this continent. Can you name these 3 oceans? The Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Arctic Oceans surround North America. We have the Rocky Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains in North America. An isthmus is a narrow strip of land joining two land masses. So the Isthmus of Panama joins North America and South America. Find out about the Panama Canal and why it was built. A strait, Strait, is a narrow passage of water connecting two large water bodies like seas and oceans. Can you name the strait between India and Sri Lanka? Write your answer in the comments. South America. South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere. Which two oceans surround it on the east and the west? The Atlantic Ocean flanks South America on the east and the Pacific Ocean flanks South America on the west. If we look at the map from left to right, we have the Pacific Ocean, South America, and the Atlantic Ocean. The Andes, Andes, the world's longest mountain range, runs through its length from north to south. South America has the world's largest river, the Amazon. Remember, the longest river Nile is in Africa and the largest river Amazon is in South America. Australia. Australia is the smallest continent that lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. It is surrounded on all sides by the oceans and seas. It is called an island continent. Australia is the only country that is also a continent. Australia is home to marsupials like the kangaroo and the koalas. Marsupials carry their young ones in their pouches. Koalas feed on the coolibah tree. The coolibah tree is the eucalyptus tree. Antarctica. Antarctica, completely in the southern hemisphere, is a huge continent. It is larger than the combined area of Europe and Australia. The South Pole lies almost at the center of this continent, Antarctica. As it is located in the South Polar region, it is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. There are no permanent human settlements. Many countries have research stations in Antarctica. India also has research stations there. These are named as Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. Maitri, Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri, Gangotri. Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri are India's research stations in Antarctica at the South Pole of our beloved Earth. Find out why our research stations were named as Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri and write your answer in the comments. The Earth is called the blue planet. More than 71% of the Earth is covered with water and 29% is with land. 71 plus 29 is equal to 100. Hydrosphere consists of water in all its forms, as running water in oceans and rivers and in lakes, ice in glaciers, underground water, and the water vapor in the atmosphere. All comprise the hydrosphere. If there's water in any form, it's the hydrosphere. More than 97% of the Earth's water is found in the oceans. More than 97% of the Earth's water is found in the oceans and is too salty for human use. A large proportion of the rest of the water is in the form of ice sheets and glaciers or under the ground, and a very small percentage is available as fresh water for human use. Yes, this is the irony. Earth is made up of 97% of water, but only a very small percentage is available as fresh water for human use. Hence, despite being a blue planet, we face a shortage of water. Did you know that the watermelon and the cucumber too contain around 97% of water? Yes, so a great way to hydrate yourself is to have a lot of cucumbers and watermelon. Do you use an RO filter, a reverse osmosis filter, water purifier in your house to obtain drinking water? If yes, you should know that RO filters produce double the amount of wastewater than the water they purify. So, if your RO filter has 10 liters of fresh, pure drinking water, through the wastewater outlet of the RO filter, you can collect 20 liters of wastewater, which you can use for any other purpose other than drinking. Yes, water is precious. Let's use it wisely. Waste not, want not. 97.2% of our water is in the oceans. 2.77, that is 2.8%, is stored in ice sheets and groundwater, and we have 0.03% as fresh water. Countries like the lovely Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have huge desalination plants where the ocean water is desalinated. That is, the salt from the water is removed and the water is treated to make it fit for human consumption. Did you know that in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, water is costlier than petrol? Thank you for learning about the lithosphere and the continents. Thank you, Lord.